Happy Monday. It is the 7:34 from WCCO. I'm Jason DeRusha. Glad to have you with us here. If you're watching live or maybe watching this video later on in the day, we want to be your home for digital news, and so we're always glad to update you as to what the world is looking like around 7:34 every day. Let me give you the weather forecast first. And today's going to be pretty nice when it comes to temperatures. It'll be very similar to yesterday, but way cloudier. Way cloudier. So yesterday we had that nice sunshine, felt really good. Today it'll still feel okay, but yeah, no sun to speak of. Even better tomorrow. So a nice stretch of 3 days in a row here before we start getting a little more of the rain and some of those April showers that we expect. Let's talk about this. Because the weather was so nice yesterday, I was out on my wife and I think took about a 5-mile walk. And I saw a lot of people wearing masks this weekend. There is new guidance out from the CDC recommending that Americans wear masks to help slow the spread of COVID-19. It is voluntary right now, but we sure have seen a lot more people wearing them while grocery shopping or running other errands. So I just wanted to check in and kind of see where you're at on this. How do you feel about wearing a mask? You know, they're saying you don't need to go find the medical grade mask, leave those for the professionals, but you know, the cloth mask, even wearing a scarf, you know, these things aren't perfect, but you know, either it's the flu shot, and we tell everybody to get the flu shot, right? So tell me what you think. Are you going to wear a mask the next time you go out? Do you find yourself looking at people with masks and wondering if they're sick? You shouldn't. But go ahead and share some comments on Facebook. We'll read through in a moment. Today does mark 1 month since the first Minnesotan tested positive for COVID-19. It feels like 10 years, but it's been 1 month. The Minnesota Department of Health says we're at 935 positive tests right now. 29 people have died. Of course, we know way more people have COVID-19 and have not been able to get a test. Last night, the governor devoted his entire State of the State address to the COVID-19 crisis, 12 minutes broadcast from inside the governor's mansion in St. Paul. He says he knows the last few weeks have been difficult, but he says it's only going to get harder.
We're used to long winters in Minnesota. We are resilient people with a deep reserve of courage, optimism, and grit. But this will be like a winter we've never seen before.
Governor ended his speech with hope, saying a new day will come, and when that happens, we will emerge better than ever. U.S. Surgeon General is warning this could be the worst week for Americans.
This is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment, our 9/11 moment, only it's not going to be localized. It's going to be happening all over the country.
More than 9,600 Americans have died from coronavirus. Number infected is over 330,000. Another key White House task force member, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says he does not consider the situation to be under control. New York Times reporting that Navy captain who got fired after issuing a warning about coronavirus on board an aircraft carrier now has the virus himself. Captain Brett Crozier was relieved of his command last week. Defense Secretary Mark Esper stood behind the firing in TV interviews over the weekend. In the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth delivered a rare address last night to thank Britain's British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, in the hospital right now, 10 days after he was diagnosed with coronavirus. Doctors say it was a precautionary step. Thousands of Twin Cities families will start distance learning today. Minneapolis and St. Paul. Those kids and teachers were on spring break last week. So here we go today. The superintendent in Minneapolis saying district is making sure students who don't have access to technology, making sure they're not going to fall behind. For now, they'll get paper packets to work through. Distance learning as a whole is going through at least May 4th. Several Wisconsin mayors are saying, how on earth are we going to have a primary election tomorrow amidst the coronavirus crisis? They're saying they should shut down the polling stations. Wisconsin Republicans appealed to the Supreme Court, though, to block a plan that would have extended out the voting period for mail-in ballots. Democrats say, look, we got to give people more time to vote safely. Cities are struggling to find poll workers because do you want to go sit for minimum wage inside some community center and have all these people come in to vote? Governor Tony Evers urging lawmakers to postpone the primary or allow voters to vote from home. Nice Ride bikes hit the streets in Minneapolis today. They do have a plan to help healthcare workers get to work. Lyft operates the rideshare program. They run the bikes now because of COVID-19. Lyft asking, all of us to not go for a joyride on these things. They want them for essential purposes only. They are offering healthcare workers a free 30-day membership to Nice Ride, but you have to sign up through your employer. So if you're interested in this, when you go to work, tell the HR people, hey, send an email to herobikes@lyft.com. We have that information at WCCO.com as well. Local high school robotics team is stepping up to help with a nationwide shortage. The Nightcrawler robotics team using 3D printers and plastic to make personal protective equipment for healthcare workers. Team is from Irondale High School in New Brighton. They set up a lab with about 24 printers to make plastic visors and face shields. They believe that they've got this down so they can pump out as many as 1,000 of these face shields a week. They'll get started on this today. They plan on running their lab for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. They've already delivered PPE to local hospitals like Abbott, St. Joe's, and Alina. Great work by Irondale and the Nightcrawlers. Cool. 5-time NBA champion Kobe Bryant. Just tragic. He is headlining the 2020 Basketball Hall of Fame class. This was Bryant's first year of eligibility. He'll now be honored posthumously. Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna were among 9 people who were killed in that January helicopter crash in California. Other people elected into the Hall of Fame include a former Timberwolves player, Kevin Garnett. What a show in the South Metro. Some neighbors got a heck of a performance yesterday. How about Lucas Meacham? This guy's got some pipes, right? All right, it's not just a rando out on his balcony in Eagan. Lucas is a Grammy award-winning opera singer. Invited the neighbors to come on out. Everybody's, social distanced away from each other. Should be on tour right now. Of course, the tour canceled, along with pretty much all of the arts has been canceled. And so artists have to, if you're a performer, you have to perform. You get out on that balcony in Eagan and let her rip. Very good stuff. All right, let's get back to today's talker.
I think I heard that all the way from Minneapolis.
That is, this guy singing in the shower, I bet it's impressive.
Sonorous.
Yes. Eric is with us, and we're talking masks.
In short, yes. Everybody says
everybody's
yes.
going to wear it.
Everybody plans to wear them. Some people are wondering where you can buy them. You don't have to buy them. You can make them at home.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesotans have scarves. You could just put on a scarf. That would be good.
Scarf. Yep, it's still cold out.
It is.
Essentially.
Ali Lucia always talked about a fashion scarf. You could wear your fashion scarf. Mm-hmm. I ordered a couple of masks on Friday from a company that makes aprons. Craft-made aprons. They're switching to making masks.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's smart. It does remind me of the flu shot, because at first all the reporting was like, these things don't work.
Right.
You're like, okay, well, what do you mean they don't work? Well, they're not perfect. Okay, well.
Right, even N95s aren't.
N95s aren't perfect. If this gives you 50% better than not having it,
right,
then.
It's about slowing, not stopping.
Right.
Yeah, some people are actually wondering about where you can buy N95 masks. You can't, or well, if you can, you're supposed to donate them.
Yeah, sometimes at hardware stores you can find them, because those N95s are often used during woodworking. Mm-hmm. The reports I've been hearing is that's where people are seeing them.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. But
it's not really about protecting yourself as much as protecting others.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's going to take a week for us to get over the fact that when you see someone with a mask, you have that moment where you're like, ooh.
Why are you in public?
Why are you in public? Why are you wearing? But I'm going to start wearing it. And it seems like the smart move. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, good stuff. Be nice to everybody. People are getting a little snippy this weekend, I think. 3 weeks of being cooped up. Just chill out. We're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Have a good day. Take a walk. Enjoy it. We'll be back for more of this stuff on the 7:34 tomorrow.